Welcome to the Beasts of the NFC East podcast. I'm your host, Sean Gnitzcavich, with my co-host, Jeremy Goode. It is week 9, which means we've made it to the halfway point. Well, the former halfway point, but still, it's been a lot of football. It feels like it's gone way too fast. I'm ready for it to slow down, but also there's some teams in the division that maybe are ready for it to just jump to the NFL draft. And you'd think that me as a Giants fan at 2-6 would be one of them, but I'm actually not. And I will tell you why in this episode, because we're breaking down the teams at the halfway point with my co-host, Jeremy Goode. Jeremy Goode, what is good?
It certainly feels like there's a Titanic effect, Sean, where there are a lot of teams already in this division going down with the ship. I didn't see this necessarily from this division. I thought there would be more fight from Washington, more fight from Dallas at this point. At the very least, doesn't appear that way. And on the surprise note, the most fight besides the Eagles has probably been New York consistently. The record doesn't show it, but in terms of competitiveness, being competent enough and consistent, again, not in winning, but like just playing solid, hard football, I think you'd probably say the New York Giants at number 2, more or less, just because of how inconsistent Dallas and Washington have been. I know they've had injuries. Everybody has injuries too. So
yeah.
I don't want to I don't want to that from Washington and Dallas.
Yeah.
And Dallas also, they haven't had a quarterback injury either. So yeah. But week 9, it's flown. My gosh.
It's been too fast. I feel like I was already like hype about, it was just yesterday. I was like, no, Russell Wilson still has more in the tank. Like, and then it was like, no, I think Tyrone Tracy's going to be the lead back, which he is now again, the lead back. It's just, I was looking so forward to this Giants pass rush, which I would say has, for the most part, lived up to the preseason hype. I know there's some conversation around Dexter Lawrence at the moment, especially with former Giants Carl Banks. And I don't know what's up with all these former Giants. Like, I get it, like now you guys cover the Giants, but saying that Dexter Lawrence is like falling off, that he's not a top defensive tackle. Dexter Lawrence responded with, and he's usually like a nice jolly guy. This year, I feel like he's fed up, which I like. I want an angry Dexter Lawrence for a revenge game going into this 49ers game. But he said, quote unquote, fuck it to that. And also that Carl Banks is delusional. So, you know what? I like that. I like a little bit of fight because I feel like Dexter Lawrence has always been known as like this good guy, and like, which he is. He's a good guy. I mean, I think this is a necessary reaction. Yeah, as you said, some injuries has happened. This is the halfway point, but most recently, the New York Football Giants lost a soldier and Cam Scadaboo for the season due to a disgusting uncalled hip drop tackle by Zach Bond in Philadelphia. And I will say, Jeremy, I did cry. I cried instantly.
Tears, like legitimate tears.
Legitimate tears. To be fair, if you guys didn't see the injury, I mean, his foot was completely sideways, and I thought, I mean, and he has just been the heart and soul of this Giants team. We lose Malik Neighbors, and he just stepped right back in it with that spark, that excitement, and he was having an amazing rookie season. He was so fun to watch. Like, literally, fans from all over, like non-Giants fans, were tuning into Giants games just to watch Jaxson Dart and Cam Scadaboo. Like, and I have, I live in Nashville, which is this melting pot of a city, and I have people from all other fans, like, dude, like, I literally make sure that I watch the Giants games because I like watching them, which is something we haven't had in so long, since like the Odell Beckham Jr., even Malik Neighbors last year. Like, he was great. There's a lot of great receivers. Like, having a running back with that style and that mentality it's going to be a tough loss. Sorry, Jeremy. I know you.
No, it's okay. I mean, it's worthy. He had over 700 yards of scrimmage, I believe. Big part of the offense so quickly into his career.
Yeah.
You hate seeing like it's kind of ironic, and I mean this in a sincere way. You would assume an injury like that would happen in New York with the turf, and it happens in like and then you're reminded of like these guys are going to have to play half their games in New York still. I always get nervous. The Eagles do it once a year. That game always, I'm very nervous from start to finish with all the players. So
Yeah.
when it's happening in other stadiums too, it can happen too. It's not like it just happens in New York, but it obviously happens at a more higher rate and more devastating overall percentage wise.
Yeah.
Just unfortunate. Uh, Again, him
Yeah.
having guys like him and Neighbors have two devastating injuries um, early-ish in the season, I would say, to their
Yeah.
players. Tough. It really makes it hard on the fans. It's not a complex idea, but gosh, fans go through a lot, and that's it's hard to be a fan.
It's hard. It's hard, especially when like your fantasy team is made up of Malik Neighbors and Cam Scatterboot too. Not that
Yeah.
that really. I mean, like these guys have real lives, like, and that was gruesome. Like, and it did come out. I believe that it did puncture the skin and his ankle dislocation. Like there was a small fracture. As far as I know, I follow these guys, the fantasy docs. You can look it up. Those guys do a pretty good job of explaining injuries, like showing like the muscles and all that stuff. And it sounds like, barring any setbacks or infection, especially because it did break the skin,
Mhm.
which is like, can be infected. He should be back in 6 months and like ready to go for like OTAs and training camp and all that. And hopefully Malik Neighbors too. He just had his surgery like the day after Cam Scatterbo had his surgery because he had to wait for the swelling to go down for his ACL, MCL, all that stuff. So the future is looking bright. Like I said, like the Giants are 2-6. You mentioned it. Thank you, Jeremy, for giving us our flowers. We have had a lot
Mhm.
of fight, despite everything. Like we have fought through everything, and I think that has a lot to do with Jaxson Dart. So at this halfway point, we're going to get to that. I will also say thank you, Philly fans, for the standing ovation for Cam Scatterboot. That was respect. I might, I lived in Philly. I might talk a little bit of crap because I bleed very, very blue, and you guys bleed very, very green. But I respect that. And Big Dom giving Cam Scatterboot cheesesteaks, and pizza. I also respect that. Big Dom
It's
respected that.
um it's nice. Obviously, New York has great hospitals, but if he wasn't in New York, Philadelphia has some of the best hospitals in the world as well. So I know he got had good doctors and nurses and everything. So it was able to go straight into surgery, which was good for everybody's sake. So we'll we'll see how he goes in terms of recovery. I think he
Yeah,
was.
no, I'm
What was
rooting.
he? Was he wheeling around practice yesterday? I think I read
Yes,
something
he
like that.
was, dude. Yes, he was. He's already wheeling around practice. Abdul Carter and Jaxson Dart warmed up next to his helmet.
Right. Don't
It's
those three
it's
those three warm up together before the injury every
Yeah,
practice?
yeah. They're three great draft picks. I'll tell you what, Joe Shane did good. And I know you mentioned, yeah, he had just about 700. Well, he actually had 617 scrimmage yards. Only started
Okay.
5 games because he didn't. He came in because of the Tyrone Tracy Jr. injury to his shoulder. That's when he really started like taking on the full workload. 7 total touchdowns. I mean, he was. I mean, that's a good 5 games starting and 600 scrimmage yards and 7 total touchdowns. I mean, that's phenomenal, and not to mention just the spark that he has. But Tyrone Tracy Jr. is going to have to step up. And the thing is, he was expected to be the starter to start the season. He had a great rookie year for Tyrone Tracy, so we'll get into that. Anything else preliminary you want to talk about before we start breaking down every team at this halfway point?
Um. No, I don't think so.
Nah, okay. Where do you want to start here? Do you want to? I mean, I've already been ranting enough about the Giants. Do you want to go into the Eagles?
Sure. That
You
was the
go.
first. That was the first game too, right?
Yeah. Well,
Hmm.
I guess we could touch up on last week's game as well, which the Eagles did beat the New York Football Giants at home in the Link, 38-20, with the help of referees. But
38,
the Eagles are
38,
also
38, 13.
38
Last
38 to 20.
touchdown was against last touchdown was against third strings. Thank you.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, you want to talk about that, dude? You also took away the Darius Slayton touchdown, which was bullshit.
That
Sorry,
was a
complete
push off.
bullshit. Yeah.
They don't
Oh
they
my
don't
gosh,
always
that was
they don't
not a
always
push off, dude.
you can see him get the separation he needed,
The
which I
hand
understand.
fighting, the hand fighting on both ends, though. Who was the
There was
cornerback?
yeah, there was hand fighting, but then
That
there's a
was Quinion
push.
Mitchell, wasn't it? That
It
was Quinion
was.
Mitchell. Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I mean the Eagles get a win against the Giants, their first complete game all season. At the halfway point, they now have a bye. They're 6-2. Uh, Offense was very very efficient last week. Defense was very very good as well. Uh, Gave up a few yards, but when it mattered, they held the Giants to field goals ultimately. Um, they're in a good spot at the bye at this mark. They could be in a better spot, but again, football's football. Some things happen. Some things fluky happen. Some things you just aren't able to execute. This team overall is very good at executing and winning when it counts. Ultimately, they they're in a good spot. They needed a break. They've been needing the spy for a few weeks now. It is good that they can rest a little, regroup. Um, the division isn't really holding up behind them, which is surprising a little bit. In other ways, not as surprising, but I'm surprised how much of a gap there is at this point, especially with how Washington and Dallas looks when they play. It's not just that they're losing; it's that they're losing because they're not playing good football. So, yeah, the Eagles are in an interesting spot right now. Um, they have a tough schedule coming up with Green Bay, Detroit, but hard to know how good Green Bay is. I'm not sure, but yeah, they get their bye, and it's needed after a pretty solid 8-week, 2-month stretch.
Yeah. Well, I will say this. I mean, Green Bay is technically in first place in the NFC East.
They are,
Not the
yes.
NFC East, the NFC and the
NFC,
NFC. With a
yes,
5-1-1, they had their bye. Eagles now will have their bye. I don't know. I think the Packers are legit. I think their offense has a lot of ways to attack, but this is about the Eagles. This is about the Eagles. So, anyways, Eagles 6-2, tops the NFC East, a half game tie game back from the top of the NFC.
mm-hmm.
It's crazy because 2 weeks ago everything was burning. They were coming off of two straight losses. They lost to the Giants, the measly Giants, and now I feel like and everything that was wrong with the Eagles, like the passing game. The next game, Jalen Hurts has a perfect passer rating.
Right.
Both their star receivers go off for over 100 yards. Saquon's broken. Then, bam, plays the Giants the next week and has his best game of the season. Like, makes up almost half of the yards that he had all season in the prior 7 games. And I feel like now, going into the bye, you guys have it's just crazy how quickly things can shift. I know we're at the halfway point, but like there is a point where we're at the quarter point where we're talking about the Eagles. Yeah, they're winning, but this is broken, this is broken, this is broken, and now it seems like they're finally putting it together. Just like how the Chiefs started off the season, like 0-3, 0-2,
Yeah.
beat the Giants, and everybody thought, oh, the Chiefs are broken. Bam, they put it together. These good teams, they find a way to correct course, correct the ship, get back to on course. I feel like biggest weaknesses right now with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like, what are you most concerned with going forward? Despite, I mean, a good start, no matter what. I mean, I know you guys won the Super Bowl
Yeah.
last year, so you guys have high standards. But like, what are your biggest weaknesses you see?
Well, I'd add too. You make a good point, Sean. I'd also add that even I've said this week after week. Collect wins early on in the season when you're not gelling.
Stacking
Bank on
September.
stacking September. Bank on the talent that you think you have
Mm-hmm.
for the rest of the season. I think this is what's coming in play with the Eagles. They just have a lot of talent that's finally figuring out what works, what doesn't. Concerns I have about this team. CB2, obviously they just trade for Michael Carter II from the Jets, who is basically solely a slot cornerback, which makes
Yeah.
it interesting because you probably then have to push Cooper DeJean out to cornerback 2 outside, which I like and I've always wanted. Problem is he plays so well in the slot that has a massive impact. You don't know what you're going to do there. So we'll have to see about the cornerback 2 situation. Maybe they keep Cooper in the slot. Jacorian Bennett comes back from injury, or he should be. Maybe he goes outside. Then you have Carter as a backup, which isn't awful at nickel. Um, but that's the biggest concern. I think people were concerned about the pass rush. They sacked the Giants last week 5 times, and I think the pass rush looked really well. Besides the sacks too, first half they weren't
Yeah.
getting sacks, but they were, the pressure was great. I think that figures itself out. They'll get Brandon Graham back. They'll get Nolan Smith back. Aziz should be healthy too. I think the pass rush is what it is. Maybe if they're not getting the sacks ultimately at the end, that's an issue, but I don't think you need to add there. I think the
You don't
quarterback.
think you have to add? Like, if we're – because
Oh,
I
I
was
think.
going to
I
say
think.
that's probably, like, where
Oh,
you guys would
I
need
think
to add the most
they'd
of the
be a
trade
better. Yeah,
deadline.
they'd be a better team if they added. I just don't want to put. It is such an expensive position to trade for, in terms of
Yeah.
draft picks. I don't want to put the resources there because I think that what you have is fine enough. I think that they definitely needed a cornerback and they traded for one and they didn't give up much for him.
Yeah.
I think they're a better
The
team if
John
you trade
Mechie.
for right
John Mechie
someone who
swap. And then
wasn't.
you guys both traded 7-round picks, too? Is
Yeah,
that
I
yeah.
think we trade a 6 next year. We get a 7th this year. Um, so pick wise capital, we don't lose anything, which is nice. Mechie was just buried on our depth chart, which is unfortunate, but he just didn't have a
Yeah.
role here. Um, if the Eagles add a defensive end, that's great. I'm just concerned that it's going to cost a lot compared to what Michael Carter cost.
Yeah.
And I think that you can bank on the group that you have right now, especially when you get healthy. Um, Interior line looked great against the Giants, which was also awesome. I'm still concerned about that going forward. It seems like Brett Toth, who's been the backup center, played well last week. He also played well against Minnesota too, but he really played well against the Giants. It would be awesome if Dickerson, Juergens, they could return to form as healthy guys. I think Dickerson has, and it's been great. Juergens has to get healthy. The offensive line is a concern. They just have to get healthy. But those are the two things I think. CB2, interior offensive line for the Eagles. It continuously going to the pass because the pass is there.
Mhm.
Everything builds off of each other. The run, the pass, the run. If all is healthy, I think they'll be in good hands.
That's fair. That is totally fair. Yeah, and I feel like Jalen Hunt, I mean, he's stepped up a little
Yeah,
bit this year, like he's a developing guy. He
yeah.
only has I'm surprised he only has 1 sack on the season and it was last week.
He
But I
has
feel like he's
only
been making plays. He had that pick six, right? Like,
He had the pick six. He's had decent pressure all year. He's established the run very well. He's also made tackles, not downfield, but around, if it's 1st and 10, around 3, 5 yards back. So the sacks haven't been there. I think he's played pretty well overall. Would be nice to get a few
yeah,
more sacks, but again, he's not the extent of Abdul Carter. The pressure seemed to be good. It's just about finishing, getting to the quarterback. So
yeah,
we'll see there. Still young. He exploded in the Super Bowl, which had everybody interested, but I think the level he's playing at is still solid.
yeah. No, 100%. And I think we nailed everything there. I think that, like, really your interior has dealt with injuries. Lane Johnson too, I feel like, has dealt with quite a few injuries. Not to mention he had a very blatant hold on Abdul Carter in that game that wasn't called too. I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. You guys are paying the refs in Philadelphia. That's okay. Totally fine.
Yeah, this is the one team. If the NFL could have one team to pay the refs and have be the winners, they'd pick this city for sure.
Yeah, well, or the Chiefs. Chiefs have definitely always been good on it. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, the Eagles are definitely. I would say Would you say they're the favorite to win the NFC this year? Still at this point,
Right now,
I don't know if they're the betting favorite.
I don't know if they're from from my personal opinion. Uh, Maybe Detroit's a little higher, but I would have them if not Detroit, I'd have the Eagles. I'd have the Eagles over Green Bay too, despite the record. I don't think Green Bay. I think Green Bay played well early on, and I think they have not played that well since. Um, they've won. They've kept on winning, which is important and very important, obviously, and something to note. But I think against Arizona, against a few other teams, Washington, even though Washington didn't play great, but I don't think they played great either. So a few games where I'd be concerned with Green Bay, which is why I'd have the Eagles over them, but maybe Detroit a little over the Eagles. But again, I don't think you can put Detroit over the Eagles. So just on their records or just on knowing who Detroit is. So I'm not sure. It's either Detroit or the Eagles. Could go either way.
Yeah, that's fair. Anything else you want to talk about here for the Philadelphia Eagles? Do you think AJ Brown, despite all the cryptic tweets, is that now settled?
I think it's settled enough. I think he's kind of a troll. I think the hamstring will get healthy, and when he's on the field able to contribute, I think that will do the talking. So, or at least I hope. So, yeah, I think that's all fine. It would be nice if Diana Rossini would stop every week tweeting the same idea of a trade and one GM saying it when the Eagles would take like a $50 million cap hit that goes direct, like doesn't count, like that's they can't get that money back. Like it would cripple the Eagles. So that would be nice if that stopped. But just about getting everyone healthy, getting everyone on the field. Let the play do the talking in this case.
That's fair. That's fair. Well, then if you're okay with that, then I guess maybe we'll move on to the team who doesn't have the second best record, but like you said, had the second best fight. You okay with that?
Sure.
Yeah.
You start off.
The 2-6 New York Football Giants. Once again, I believe if you go through like the past 7 years, like our record after week 8 has been 2-6, 2-6, 2-6, 1-7, 6-2. Daniel Jones, Brian Dable playoff here, and then 2-6 and 2-6. This 2-6 feels different, and I know that's like it's just sad to even say. I mean, we could Giants fans can go through it. You can go through week 1, yeah, like that the Commanders game, like we didn't have it together. Week 2 should have beaten the freaking Cowboys. Week 3, that was a necessary evil that we had to face of just Russ being exposed in prime time against the Chiefs. So that way we can finally be benched and we can see our Lord and Savior Jaxson Dart in starting action. So that's fine. Come in first start against the Chargers. We got that win. We got that spark. We lose Malik Neighbors. It was a damper. Even though that was our first win, Jaxson Dart's first win. I mean, you remember, Jeremy, I came on the pod. I was still a little down. It's just like losing Malik Neighbors, losing somebody who you look forward to seeing all season and put up numbers. Because, I mean, at that point, he was on pace for, like, breaking all these, like, with this many games, like, the most receiving yards, most receptions, all this. So it's just sad to see that. Sad to see that happen. Then, Saints game. We lose the Saints game on our own, like the 4 consecutive fumbles. That's garbage. It's against Spencer Rattler, who's now the only win he's had in his career, and maybe the only win he'll ever have in his career now that he's been benched for Tyler Shuck. So that's very sad. Then we come back, smoke the Eagles. Just have to say it. That was beautiful. Loved it.
You're missing the title of that game.
What's the title of that game?
Your Super Bowl.
Oh, you didn't say it a couple weeks ago, but now that you beat the Giants, now you want to say it. That was not our Super Bowl. I know that. Listen, I felt damn good. After that game, and the Giants played well, wholly defensively, offensively. That was awesome. And then we go on the next week to the Broncos, play a damn good game for 3 quarters, and then just fall apart in the 4th. and then we lose our heart and soul early on in the Eagles game, when we had deflating calls too, man. We didn't mention it because I wanted to let your 6-2 Eagles have it, but like the
Stop.
tush push is done. The tush push is done. That was bullshit. Kayvon Thibodeau said it. I'm not going to get fined. I might not get a job because of talking like this, but I don't really care. but it's bullshit. It is bullshit. The play is bullshit. Like against the Giants in 3 weeks total, two games within 3 weeks, the illegal and like poor refereeing on that play was just too blatant. Like I think it's ironic that I think the tush push has now died. Like the Giants that first week in primetime Thursday Night Football, where like you could see the offsides happening prior to it, while you guys were in it 4 times in a row, and everybody was like, "This is bullshit." Which that's what it should be called. The BS push. I don't know. It's. I'm done with it. Be honest, Jeremy. Be honest, Jeremy.
Yes.
If it wasn't the Eagles and they were getting away with stuff like this, where like it was an obvious strip and it was called forward progress way too early, you'd be pissed too.
I would then realize that the play before it, the Eagles got the first down by a mile, and it was marked inadequately. So
okay,
it's officiating. Listen, it's like a bad officiating is bad officiating. I agree on that. Like these officials have been bad in every which way, no doubt. I agree. We've all seen it. Every team's seen it. It's bad that nothing happens. Not punishment, but like it's bad that you can't challenge a lot of things that should be challengeable. MLB is doing it with a little bit more now with review. NFL should probably get on board with a lot of different things that you should be able to look at a second time. Although, and I will say to Brian Dable on that tush push,
yeah,
that isn't a play you can challenge, so you shouldn't have challenged that. I
I
don't know.
would 100% disagree. I would 100 because the ref even said it. He announced it before. He's like,
Right.
Brian, the New York Giants coach has been informed that this is not a challengeable play.
Right.
I just love, dude, as a Giants fan, and I think that did galvanize the team when he threw that.
Oh, I
like,
agree. I agree.
I love that.
I agree. Like from a fan perspective, I get how you could get behind that. Yeah. I agree with that. Problem is, you're just losing a timeout. Like short term wise, I get it. The passion's there.
Yeah.
Long term wise, as a coach, you have to have more composure. You have to be thinking a little more about the future than making a statement that you know it's going to be. But again, yeah, I think. Listen,
No, you're right. You're right.
Officiating's been bad. It's
been
officiating
totally
in the NFL has been bad for it's been seriously bad on a high scale for at least I don't know, at least 5 years. And that's being like pretty lenient. I'm like they like the last few years have been like awful. And the NFL wants to protect themselves, understandable, but maybe you should just get better officials.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We can talk about the refs all day. I hate it. It's the worst. It's probably the worst part of football, honestly. Especially because in this day and age, like everybody can see the calls on the replay. Like
right.
I think some of these refs have too much pride. I have seen a lot more picking up of flags, which whatever. Like that's good. At least like you see it and you just turn it down. Like I think there should be a lot more pride in that, like and just be like, oh wait, no, I just saw that replay. Like I'm totally wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if it's you're right about the pride thing. I think it's more about the NFL itself. I think it's more about Roger with the pride. Like in game, it's hard if you're an official, you miss something. I get why it's hard to go back on it without replay, just on instant. And if you don't have another line judge telling you, hey, I saw it completely, you missed it. I get how they're not able to pick up flags. It is about pride. It's about the larger scheme and the logo with Goodell and his New York offices that it makes for a disappointing product a lot.
Yeah.
And everybody's victim. It's amazing. Like everybody has their own stories, their own plays, and they're right. They're not
Yeah.
wrong.
No, I get that. But let's get back to these New York Football Giants.
Yes.
Right now, the reason why I still have hope, and the reason, like, I mean, I don't think we're making a playoff push. Like, if I'm being real here, sorry, she's getting all up in my grill. We Reese, stop distracting me. I'm trying to talk about my New York Football Giants. The reason why I have faith in the New York Football Giants is
Yes.
because of the core players, and the fact that we lost two of our core players. That I think if we had them at 2-6, I would still believe in a playoff push. But
Mm,
we currently have the odds-on favorite for the offensive rookie in the year, and our starting
right.
quarterback Jaxson, who like stats maybe hasn't been lighting up totally, but if you're watching the games, like he can just
Hmm.
make stuff out of nothing. Like, and when
Right.
he does get sacks, like you said, he got sacked 5 times against the Eagles. A lot of those
I
sacks
think
were
so.
for like no, I think it was, but they weren't
Yeah,
for like they
a
weren't
lot
big
around the line of
loss of
scrimmage.
yards
Right.
because he's scrambling around. A lot of those were actually just like essentially like he decided to start taking off and run, but they caught him behind the block. Holy crap! All right, I'm just gonna keep going around there.
Well, here's the thing. I'll interrupt.
Yeah,
Like, this is where what I think you're trying to say. You're being nice and
yeah,
you're including a lot of people, and that's true.
yeah,
Why you should have hope with this 2-6 Giants team is solely because of the quarterback's play. It's solely because of Jackson Dart. He is playing competent football. He is giving you a idea of what the future could look like, and that's pretty solid from how he's played. You expect he's going to grow too
yeah,
from this and get better, and that's what Giants fans should be sold on and should be judging this season on. And so far, Dart's delivered. Absolutely. I think he's going to have to change his playing style a little bit. Um,
yeah,
yes, he is a good runner. Yes, you should take advantage of it. Yes, you should also adjust. I feel like 3 or 4 of his 5 sacks, he was hit pretty hard. And when I say pretty hard, I mean like they were concerning whether he'd get up. Not that he'd be down with
yeah.
a serious injury,
No,
but just
he's tough, dude.
if he was gonna limp off because of how hard he was getting hit.
Yeah,
He's got to figure that out. He's a tough guy. Yeah, he has a lot of pride there. It all matters about how he's playing. And if he continues to play well, that's good enough for the Giants this year. Doesn't matter about
I know
anybody else. Doesn't matter
that's
about
true.
anybody else. They'll figure it out. But it's
That
all you gotta find the quarterback. And he looks good. Like you said, stats aren't letting it up. I think stats
yeah,
could be deceiving in some ways for both ways, good and bad. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, it comes down to the quarterback for the Giants.
And
And so far, week 9, passing grade for sure. Regardless of record. You
no,
gotta be
a
patient.
hundred.
It's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, and like I said in those reviews, like there was a lot of close games, a lot of ways where we beat ourselves. But the other bright spot is obviously our third overall pick, Abdul Carter, who is the odds-on favorite for defensive rookie of the year, and
Yeah,
that is awesome. And I know that he's only had a half sack, 1 sack, depending on who you're grading it. But I know he leads the league in quick pressures, which I
he
don't have
does.
the exact number there because I mean it's nuts and like and total pressures he has 32. I think a lot of the ways that Brian Burns has succeeded this year too is because of having an
Totally.
Abdul on there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
also Kayvon Thibodeau stepping up. I mean, because Kayvon I think only has 2.5 sacks in the season. Abdul has one. Dex only has a half sack, but they're all getting pressures. Maybe not Dex this year actually, and we could talk about that too.
Tavon's looked good with pressures too. I think that Carter's play this year, he is walking so Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau can run, if you get what I
Oh
mean.
yeah, 100.
And
percent
and it's there's just a lot of stats that aren't going to be statted for Carter this year but at least the pressures and the quick pressures are there. But the impact is mighty. The stats might be there, but stats are. I also think stats are kind of stupid in a lot of ways. Some guys might not score touchdowns; they're still great contributors. Some guys might
Oh
not
yeah,
get to the quarterback; they're still causing, like in Jalen Carter's case, he only has 1 sack this year. He's caused probably like 3 turnovers just off of pressure.
Yeah.
So, you know, and the sacks
It's
will
good.
come. And
Yeah.
you look at Carter too, and you go, the sacks will come. This isn't like
Oh yeah. It's not a concern.
he's knocking on the door.
And Jared Verse, I think, won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year with like I think max was it 6 sacks or 4 sacks. Like it wasn't like something crazy, but
Right.
but because of how dominant he was with those pressures.
Oh yeah.
I'm just looking this up. But in the meantime, we also have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate on our team, and it's not Dexter Lawrence. Surprisingly, it's Brian Burns. Like Brian Burns has stepped up and leads the league with 10 sacks. He leads the league in tackles for loss, which I think is 12.
Tied for the league in sacks.
Tied for the league in dude. It's crazy. Like no, you see all this like who's the Defensive Player of the Year, and Brian Burns has been left off. I think he's like 6th best in odds too, which is just crazy. It's
That's not that
he's been
bad
dominant all year.
At minus 3,000. I don't think 6 is awful.
Yeah, let me just see here. Yeah,
that's for the NFC. That's for the entire NFL.
Yeah, 4.5 sacks for Jared Verse, by the way. Yeah, total. Let me see tackle for lost NFL 2025. Yeah, I mean, dude, like that's okay. Well, this is not what I was looking for.
I'll add on.
No. Brian Burns is he's in second behind Myles Garrett for 13. So
okay,
my apologies. Just wanted to make sure I had that correct. But still, it's like Brian Burns is playing up to snuff, and he's been electric. He's been the leader of our defense. He's been awesome. What were you going to say, though, Jeremy? I apologize.
I think when in Burns' case, it's unfortunate for him. I think if you have an edge rusher who's playing great, but the team isn't winning, that kind of gets lost in the sauce, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing against him. Just I guess just a position where it's like, what have you done for me lately? Well, we have a lot of stats, and it's like, right, but is it contributing to winning? No, but that's also not his fault. So just an unfortunate, like, kind of, thing with the NFL with certain players. But he has played well.
He has played well. The Dexter Lawrence stuff hasn't been playing up to, coming into this year, Dexter Lawrence was like the number 1 defensive tackle in the NFL, like coming off like only playing half a season and having 9 sacks. Like I said, I think this year he has half a sack or 1 sack. People count him differently. I did read something that Bobby Skinner put out of Giants Nation show, and he was going through like the pressure rate, sack rate, all this stuff of the last 4 seasons. And it seems to correlate directly with how much he's put at nose tackle. And he's played nose tackle the least amount, I think, in his entire career this year. And I know that's probably because of all the different formations we're doing. He's still getting just as many double teams, but this year he's not shedding him like he would in past years. I think it's a turnaround. I think he might have started the year a little slow, coming off of injury, whatever. I have no concern with Dexter Lawrence long term, and I love him and Sexy Dex. I've seen like people propose trades and like, these mock trades from like these garbage sites. Like that's not happening. Like we're not getting rid of our best players when we have other holes. Like, and also defensive tackle depth is a big issue. When Dex isn't on the field, it's a glaring issue. So I don't care if he's
defense looked
playing
pretty poor last week.
Oh, yeah,
it's weird too. It's weird too because you have such good edges, defensive ends too, and it doesn't help. Like it's not. I guess they contribute a little bit to it, but like the problem. I mean, the problem I see with the Giants is they can get to the quarterback, but teams are going to adjust and just run the ball, and then you take out your ends because they're just running the ball. So there needs to be a little bit more balance. I always say play the hits, and the hits are when Dexter Lawrence is the nose tackle position. I think they should move him back. I don't know why you would move him out of that position at all. I don't care about depth. I don't care about injuries otherwise. Keep him where where he's best, and
Yeah, right up the
yeah,
middle. Be that
little
forward.
baffling.
Yeah, I also, I mean, in that Eagles game especially, like there are so many times where the Giants are so close to this, like getting a sack. We had all the
Yep.
edge rushers, all the interior right there surrounding Jalen Hurts, but then they get behind Hurts and they get behind the O line, and then Hurts just took off for a big run.
Yeah.
You know, like
And
that's
Hurts, and the thing about Jalen Hurts is he'll accept a sack. He'll take a sack, here or there. So if he's getting out of it, I think that might say a little bit. Um, yeah, this is a Giants team that I think just very weird identity wise, because you think that defensively they'd be great, and I still think they're pretty good, above average defensively. But a lot of weeks they've just been like so awful. I don't I don't exactly. I get that they've had some injuries, yeah, but some of it is, I think, beyond the. It's just and earlier in the season, I think we saw it too. You'd have a better idea. It's just baffling
yeah,
how they play the Chiefs really, really hard defensively, and then other weeks they'll just drop. The other weeks they'll pull a Denver. And Denver, and
yeah,
I don't think. And the thing about Denver is their offense isn't like that good. So,
no,
um, I'm not sure.
yeah. I think that I think a lot of it has been Shane Bowen's play calling and
Yeah,
scheme, and also just like we have weak spots.
inexperience.
Like I asked you about the weak spots on your team. Um, our cornerback, Cordell Flott stepped up in a big way. I think he deserves an extension. Like he's played as one of the top cornerbacks in the league. If you look at stats, like pass defense, all that stuff.
Uh
Um,
huh.
but Paulson Adebo, who we paid to be like a top cornerback for our team, has
He's been
not
bad.
looked good. And
Yeah.
now he's injured. I don't know if he's going to play against the Niners. It doesn't look like it, as far as I know. I think
Hmm.
he still did not participate. And then Deontay Banks, our first round pick, is complete garbage trash. We
Yeah.
had to rely on a seventh round pick and Corey Black to play against
So
the
bad.
Eagles, who got stolen off our practice squad because he was like, you know what, I'd rather just go to the Jets practice squad, and then we
Oh,
stole him
really?
back to actually play. Yeah, yeah. Like
Wow.
he got hurt when he got cut from the team, and he literally hopped onto the Jets practice squad. So,
Wow.
and we're like, hey, we'll actually start you, and he's also horrible. Um, Tyler Nubin has sucked. So like our
Yeah,
secondary is a
he's
big
bad.
issue.
He's
And, yeah,
he needs to go to geometry class and learn about angles.
dude, his ain't
He was
ass
bad.
angles, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like some of those big Saquon runs, I'm like, Newman, where are you,
Yeah.
buddy?
So
Where
bad.
are you?
That
Um,
first one he did, it's one of the worst angles you could I've seen. Who
yeah,
else? Who else was I thinking of? Javon Holland injured. I
yeah,
don't know if he's been
yeah.
playing well this year.
I mean, he hasn't like showed like I haven't
That's
really
what I
noticed
felt.
Javon Holland.
Right.
He's just kind of like, especially when like he's almost our replacement for Xavier McKinney. He was like our like, oh wait, no, maybe we do need to invest in safety. Like,
Yeah.
and then which I feel like Joe Shane should have known, because the Bills, like especially during their tenure, had two great safeties in Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde, like that were
Right.
like key parts of their team, key parts of their defense. Like it's just, I don't know, it's just silly. But I think that's enough about the New York Football Giants. Uh, do I see us making the playoffs? No. Do I think that like I'll enjoy every single game as long as Jaxson Dart is still starting? Yes. Like I think I look forward to that, especially with our cast of like mid wide receivers. I hope Wandale can make 1,000 receiving yards this year. That'd be good for him. Although that'll probably raise his price, and he's on an expiring contract, so that maybe isn't the best. But
Mm,
I think weaknesses like our secondary needs to be reinvested in. Our interior O line has been questionable, but
right.
okay. Uh, it's not our weakest point. Jeez. Can you hear me, Jeremy?
I can.
I accidentally pressed Siri. Can you hear me there, Jeremy, or did you lose me?
Oh yeah. Talk about interior. Yeah, I think quick ad.
Yeah.
Uh Van Roten. I get it. Like there I understood the signing at the time.
Yeah. Oh,
Good
yeah. Just,
veteran, or veteran guard, but sheesh. I'm basing a
yeah.
lot off
GVR.
velocity.
Yeah, no, that's fair. GVR is like, I mean, definitely needs to be upgraded. And honestly, like, I guess at this point, Evan Neal is just so bad that we'll never see him at guard.
Yeah.
But maybe try Marcus and Bo. Like the season's almost done, like maybe try Marcus and
Especially a
Bo
guard
somewhere along
too.
his career. Yeah,
I think tackle scares me with him just because of his size. For the NFL,
yeah,
college is a little different. You can get away with it. Guard, more intrigued for sure, as long as he's
yeah,
healthy, you know?
yeah. No, I think. I mean, he played good in, especially when he had to take over for that awful James Hudson, who I don't even know if he's even on the roster anymore at left tackle. So he played good there. And I think he played left tackle again versus the Chiefs. And I remember he wasn't awful,
Yeah.
especially as a rookie 5th-round pick. But I think that's enough about the football Giants. You want to do Cowboys or Commanders? Who do you think is more interesting at this point?
Probably Cowboys. Washington is such a bore. Although Cowboys are kind of bored, but yeah, I'd go Cowboys.
Well, I think the Cowboys are a tale of two sides of the ball.
Yeah.
I think that their offense has been playing great. I think Dak has, rightfully so, is been thrown into the MVP conversation. I don't think he's top 5 at this point, and
No.
I think that there's other flaws in this team that's going to keep him from getting to that level.
Yep.
Mainly winning, just like we were talking about with the Defensive Player of the Year. But yeah, the Cowboys are 3-4-1, second in the NFC East, and their defense has been their biggest flaw. But I
Yep.
mean, I think Brian Schottenheimer has actually looked pretty good offensively and like leading this team. Like, I know that the Cowboys aren't where I think fans thought they'd be at the beginning of the year, or they thought they'd be at the beginning of the year. But playing multiple games without CeeDee Lamb, having issues on their offensive line, their offensive has come together, and I think Dak is a big part of that. Jeremy, what are your thoughts halfway through the season on the Dallas Cowboys?
I am looking through certain rushing stats. I'll get to that in a second. Um,
Yeah,
Pretty much what you've said, Sean. I think offensively they've been pretty good. I still think there's something missing with their offense to really be a threat. Um, and to me, that means even though their defense is so bad, if their offense were a little better slash, I think clicking more at a higher level, they could overcome some of it and it would translate in more wins than losses. Again, it's such a broad statement that it's hard to prove, but there's something missing. I think the running game, they're not awful.
I mean, Javonte Williams, I think, is what, third in the league in rushing right now?
Is he? Okay.
I
Yeah.
believe so. Yeah.
As a team, they are
NFL
1, 2,
rushing.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're
Yeah,
13th
Javonte
in
Williams.
yards per game. Um, yeah. Uh, I don't know. There's something missing. It's weird because the lead is their defense is god awful, and we know that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just feel like offensively there should be a little something more. Obviously, CeeDee Lamb,
yeah.
great. George Pickens, unbelievable.
Been
Ferguson,
playing great,
great.
great.
Yeah.
Dude,
Williams
and
too.
Javonte
Williams
Williams,
too. Yeah,
is having
absolutely.
a great season. Yeah, so he
I don't like
fourth in the
I
league,
don't
1
hear
yard
their
behind J.K. Dobbins.
like I don't
Yeah,
think teams like I think people would be talking more about their offense, and maybe it's because they're 3-4-1 or whatever, wherever they are. The record doesn't
yeah,
uh, let people talk about how great they are.
yeah.
But I think part of the record, like I don't think the record is just because of how god awful I think there's something that you need to connect with their offense. That if you do, it changes a lot. It doesn't it band-aids maybe a little bit of the defense, but I'm not sure. But yeah, listen, Dallas. We said this earlier off air. Dallas. It seems like they're a week by week team. 1 week they look decent
Yeah,
against bad competition. I think the next week they look awful
yeah,
against any competition. So weird team. That's why I know you tried to give them their flowers last week after their win. They are a tough team to get behind them. They're just every time you think that they're going to go on a run, they have a deflating kind of game the next week. Like giving up 44 points against Denver is just it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Denver put up those points against the Giants too. And
They did,
what
which
was it against the Eagles, dude? Did they
it's like
crush you guys?
21. I think it was like 21-19.
Oh yeah, because they came back at that. Yeah,
Yeah, the Eagles,
like deficit
fortunately for the
before.
Eagles, they offensively the red zone's been amazing for them, and defensively the red zone has been pretty solid too, where they've been able to have teams settle for field goals. But yeah, Dallas, they they're they need a few at this point. They definitely, it's silly to say, they need to be in a better situation. They need a few more wins. They needed to win that Green Bay game. They didn't. Bears game, bad early in the season. Um, who else? Sheesh. Did,
Yeah,
they're a better team than
really.
3-4. I think what I'm trying to say is they're a better team than 3-4-1. Maybe not that much better, but I think better. Yet they're 3-4-1. So they got to
Yeah,
figure
it's
something out.
yeah. Well, it's funny. I think the thing that they're trying to figure out is how to get an edge rusher, and they've been in talks.
Yeah.
We talked about this before. Like the Steelers are looking for a big aggressive wide receiver. Oh wait, you guys got rid of George Pickens, and now the Cowboys, they're looking for a premier edge rusher because now they have Jadeveon Clowney and Donovan
Yep.
Ezraku, who I think I mean, Jadeveon Clowney, for what he is at this point in his career, has shown some flashes. Donovan Ezraku has shown some flashes. Dante Fowler has even been okay, but they have a bunch of like edge threes. They don't have even an edge two, I would say, on their offense or on their defense, which shows. And cornerback play, I feel like, has been kind of piss poor. Deron Bland had like his looked like Deron Bland against the Commanders, especially,
Yeah.
he's had histories of pick sixes versus the Commanders, but Trayvon Diggs hasn't been as good as he's been.
Yep.
I know that their linebackers are kind of like strewn about, like they just kind of built this linebacker in the free agency because they dealt with all the injuries that they have
Right.
had. But yeah, I mean, dude, their offense is like, if they could actually make a trade for a good edge rusher and maybe just have Trayvon Diggs return back to his previous form prior to injury, like I think their defense, which that's a lot to ask.
It is. It
But
might be too late for the last thing you said too.
that's fair. And I don't.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even
It's
know.
just, yeah, they're I don't know if they I don't know if they'd have enough targets for another receiver to put in that system.
I think.
Even,
I
but
think. I think they're fine receiving wise because I think
yeah, but
Ryan Flournoy even had a good game with CD Lamb out. Like you
yeah.
have two. You have a 1A 1B in those guys, and Ferguson I'd say is top 10 tight end easily.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't think
easily.
I
Yeah.
don't think wide receiver is an issue for them right now.
I don't think it's an issue. I don't think no. Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. I don't think it's
Yeah,
an issue for them. I think that they I don't know. I think that
different
Williams over a
offense.
season isn't talented enough to really push the run game over the edge. So then you have to rely on the throw, and
We just
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
that with Javonte Williams. I know. I feel like you're still in the preseason because Javonte Williams is third in the league in touchdowns,
I think he's
fourth in the league
good.
in
I
rushing
just
yards. He's
yeah.
been efficient, and Brian Schottenheimer says it. He likes big backs, and he cannot lie. And even though Javonte Williams isn't tall, he's a thick boy. Um, and which is funny because I feel like him and Rico Dowdle are actually very similar, like running styles and like body types too. So it was weird that they got rid of Rico Dowdle, who is fifth in the league in rushing yards, which is so crazy. If you said that preseason,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
I
Rico
guess
Dowdle should get traded. Trade him, man. Trade him
yeah,
to a team where he
seriously,
can be used.
especially because they're trying to balance him with Hubbard, and I don't think that works. In the games that
Yeah,
they've lost or tied, in the
yeah,
Green Bay game, Williams ran
yeah,
for 4.2 yards per carry.
yep,
Decent. They tied that. Lost to Philadelphia, 3.6. Bad.
yep,
Lost to Denver, 3.2. Bad.
yep.
Carolina, close game 2, 13 carries, 29 yards, 2.2.
which is
Um,
crazy because the Panthers actually have a terrible. Well, I think
right,
maybe Derek Brown was back then. So, but they
maybe.
this year they
But then
haven't been
his
great
stats,
against the run.
so he's still averaging 5.1 yards for the season. So for those stats, his other stats against the winning teams have been great. I don't know. I think I'm weird team. I want to see a few more games to try to get more of a grip on them because it just changes every week. But I don't know. I talent wise, Pickens is great. Talents wise, CD is great. Ferguson, Dak's playing well, but
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know
yeah.
how
I
you
think
lose. I don't know how you lose to Carolina. I don't know how you only score 21 points against Denver with your offense. Um, Bears game is just, yeah. I don't know.
that was
Weird
brutal.
team. I think I need
And
another few
honestly,
games to get a sense of them.
yeah, and I'll tell you what too. Like whenever if I have any fantasy players that are playing the Cowboys that week, I always put them in. I'm just because the
Oh yeah,
defense is just allowing so much. Like I picked back up Kyler Murray, and I'm obviously starting Trey McBride for this Monday Night Football matchup.
I
But
think the
uh,
offense needs. I think the offense definitely needs when they lose, it's because they don't run the ball well. And I think that Dak's always need that component where he needs someone to go along with his arm in terms of running the ball. Used to have it with
yeah,
Ezekiel Elliott, worked well up until a certain point. He still needs that dynamic where he hasn't had running backs last year. Um, Dak wasn't that good because they relied too much on the pass. Maybe a little more consistent play from the O line and from the run game to
yeah.
get some more wins. I'm not sure.
I will say this too. Jaden Blue in the last game. I mean, obviously it was a little different because of the lopsidedness. But Jaden Blue got a lot
Right.
of carries. Didn't really run that efficiently. But I am looking forward to seeing Jaden Blue kind of his role grow on this team because he was an exciting player coming out of college, coming out of Texas,
Speedy guy.
and
Yeah.
I think he will pair well with what Javonte Williams is. So I think that'll be fun. But let's move on to the Washington Commanders, man. What a disappointing season for the Washington Commanders. Who would have
Yeah.
thought after an unprecedented trip to the NFC Championship with their rookie phenom Jaden Daniels that they would fall from grace in the season to come, especially when they bolstered that great roster with a bunch of aging veterans.
That was
You
did you
thought
want
that? You thought that, Jeremy? Did
I
you
did
think
think that.
that?
I didn't
Yeah,
think it would be like this. And people are gonna say, well, Jane Daniels has been hurt for a good bit of the year. I get that.
mhm,
When he's played, the team has not looked that good either, whether they've won or lost. The team just has not
yeah,
looked like anything that they were last year. Last year, too, they didn't have that hard of a schedule where most of their wins were, they were barely getting over the hump, which is fine. They
yeah.
still won, I think, what did they win? 10 games, 11 games last year. So they still played well. But um,
I think they won
yeah, this
12 games last year, dude.
holy smokes, really? Wow.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Um, this team is just not the same. They tried to go an older approach, which, like I've said, I respect. Like they went all in. They said we have a young quarterback. The problem is like you got this is a league where kind of like the NBA, you got to go younger. You got to get guys who are really good and young, and it's hard. You have to draft. Usually, that's through the draft.
yeah.
Um, they also haven't had injury luck. Daniels has been hurt. McLaurin has been hurt. Debo's
Or,
been hurt, at least for a
yeah,
game or so. And they probably have countless more. The running back group, we like Krosky Merritt. Um,
he
but
actually slowed down so much, dude.
yeah, he
He had
hasn't
that
been
big game, and
consistent.
he's yeah,
Right. I think that Washington over the last several years have gone obviously by committee at running back. Brian Robinson, Chris Rodriguez, Austin Eckler. I don't think it works if you really want to win. I think they realize that this year everything has hit the fan in the worst way for them. Fortunately, they'll have uh, Jaden next year as well, and they can restart this thing. But he like Dart, he's a reckless player in a lot of ways, and we saw it last year. We said you got to correct this. I don't know if he really corrected it, and he's just he's very skinny, and a lot of injuries can happen that way. A lot of soft tissue injuries can happen that way.
Yeah, we're
And
seeing it a lot this year. I mean, like
yeah,
the hamstrings for rushing quarterbacks have
oh
been
yeah,
brutalized. Even Jaxson Dart, who like has not been held out of a game, knock on some freaking wood, but he even had a little bit of a scare, like in his
totally.
second start, like
Yep.
with the hamstring. So it's yeah, it's a hard thing.
They have it's just been a plague season for Washington. They and like I said, you'll still have Jane Daniels, you'll still have him next year, and you'll still be able to but you're gonna it's not gonna come easy. And I think that they thought that it would come easy. The NFL's a really hard
Yeah,
league every year, different teams, injuries happen, teams adjust, teams have film. It's hard to be it's hard to be a consistently good quarterback in the NFL. It's not like the days of Brady, Roethlisberger, Peyton, Philip Rivers, even though I don't think Philip Rivers was really that good, but he got the yards, he had the stats.
yeah,
Um,
Philip Rivers, yeah, he's
well,
good.
he was good, but like great, like, oh my god, please stop. But like Drew Brees, they made it look easy. It's not easy.
Yeah,
It also doesn't help. Defenses are getting better. Guys are getting faster on defense too. They are running more complex plays, I think, that can confuse the quarterback and with their different looks. So it's tough, and Washington's a victim of it this year. What do you think, Sean?
yeah. I think some of the concerns we had going into the season, the running back by committee, like you've mentioned, has
Yeah,
shown, especially when like they traded away one of their key parts of the committee in Brian Robinson, which I honestly think they probably could have used, especially looking
probably.
right now,
Yeah,
definitely could have used.
yeah,
And Austin Eckler going down game one or game two. I mean, the beginning of the season. I mean, that doesn't look good. And now your committee is filled with your backups with Chris Rodriguez and Jeremy McNichols, and Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt, who was exciting and all this good stuff and has had great moments, has
yep.
also just been stifled since like his blow up week a few weeks ago. I saw something online that after he had like 27 fantasy points, he's averaging like 3.8 cents. Not that that really matters, but like it kind of just
Gives
translates
you an
to
idea.
his production.
Right.
To his production. Bobby Wagner, although he's second in the league in tackles, has definitely looked a lot older and sloppier, especially in coverage and of that nature. Marshawn Lattimore, who had an amazing interception against Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
I think has had an up and down season. Von Miller is not even being talked about because he's not Von Miller anymore.
Yeah.
It's not the same. And didn't they lose Dorrance Armstrong too? Am I
For the
correct on
year.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and he was a good piece of that pass rush too. So like, it's just bad injury. I mean, Terry McLaurin's played I think we were going over this before, like 4 games, and
I
hasn't
think
he
so.
has one
Yeah.
touchdown, hasn't done much. Debo Samuel, who has actually looked great, and even Larry Tunsil, for what it's worth, I feel like hasn't shown because
Yeah.
Jay Daniels is getting injured on his own, running the ball on his own. But
Yeah. I'll give
yeah, I just yeah,
well, I was just gonna add, I didn't think Debo was like a great move for them. He's definitely surprised me a little bit.
he's been awesome.
I still think you could do if you're really being aggressive, I think you could do better, especially where
Yeah.
how much money you have invested in Debo, what it took to get him. Um, but he hasn't been he hasn't held the team back and he's been productive. I do think they could do better, but like, yeah, it's just weird with this team. Didn't think it would be this bad, but
No,
I guess
it's. I think
Mariota's also
this
a
is.
bad a bad backup. So
Hey, he got a win for him though. He got a win
he
for him,
did. He did.
which is crazy because imagine if he didn't. Imagine if I mean it'd be. I mean, and it's bad because the Commanders did go 12-5 last year. So now that being three and
Crazy.
five, they'd have to win out to match that, and obviously like
Right.
it's not looking like it. I think there was the
No.
concerns that we had prior have shown to be true. Plus the injuries. I mean, that's what adds up to a 3-5 record for the Washington Commanders.
Yeah.
And honestly, it makes me wonder where they're going next year. Like what moves are going to? I mean, I think I hope they've learned their lesson and like they can't keep all these like and build their roster on aging vets. They had such a good cap. I don't know exactly what their cap looks like for next year because I know with Debo and the McLaurin extension and all that.
Yeah. And those two it's a good point. Those two contracts, even though they're, I wouldn't say overpays necessarily, it's going to add up. Like those contracts will kick in for a
Yeah,
team that had a lot of money last season going into the offseason. So, yeah, they they really need a lot on defense and buying defensive players, just like offensive players. But when you need to buy your defense instead of use draft picks, it can get really expensive.
yeah, and I just don't understand. Like edge rusher was like such a need for them, and
Yeah.
they just Von Miller is your answer. Like I get it. Like I honestly like I'd be okay with that as a depth piece, but like to be your premier guy at edge, it didn't really make sense to me, especially for a team who's looking for playoff like playoff Super Bowl coming off an unexpected great season. But I mean, do you think there's any chance the Commanders make the playoffs this season?
No, they
No.
no. If do you want me to explain a little or just one word answer? Because
I mean,
either
you can give me a quick. You can give me a quick. Yeah, give me a synopsis.
uh, not playing good football, injured, no identity. Last year's magic has worn out. Again, I've said this theme before. The Giants, I think, had this a few years ago after their playoff run with Daniel Jones. There is an expectation. It you're kind of playing with house money the year before. Then after you have a 12-win season, and you went to the NFC Championship game, you're expected to be Super Bowl contenders. It's a
Oh
big
yeah,
jump. It's a big jump. It might not be the most fair, but I've always said that's a problem with getting to the party a little too early. It's fun at the time, but then expectations after that, especially with their quarterback situation, since they feel like they have their future at that position, you're going to be expected to compete at that level. Not only compete at that level, get better. So, no, I
yeah,
don't think they're going to be making the playoffs. The NFC is pretty deep too, so
yeah.
I don't think they make the playoffs. Your thoughts, Sean?
No, I don't think so either. Honestly, and I
Yeah,
think there's actually a good chance the Giants finish with a better record than the Commanders. Also, I
maybe.
mean, we're a game back right now, and honestly, if you look at our games versus looking at their games, like I said, the Giants
Yeah,
have been in a much better spot.
Washington still has to play the Eagles twice.
They still have to play the Eagles twice. You got to play a hungry Giants again, and the
Yeah,
Cowboys who just literally smoked them. They have to play
yeah.
them again. I
We'll
mean, I was
see.
just looking at their schedule. It's like
We'll see with
the
Daniels
remaining
and his.
games.
Yeah, we'll see
Yeah,
with Daniels and his health, but uh, yeah. I mean, it could be interesting with them and the Giants in terms of competing for better record down the stretch.
yeah. Honestly, I mean, to be and at this point, I'm like, do I even really like I said, I don't think the Giants are going to the playoffs, but and at that
Yeah,
point, do we want a better draft capital? But I also said when you have a rookie quarterback, I think you don't care about losing out for a draft pick. You'd rather like help their confidence, build. Like
oh, definitely.
I think like this is a situation where you actually do want to like build that momentum going into
Especially because
next
the
year.
Giants have been doing that basically for a decade. At a certain point,
Yeah,
yeah, it's a good point. You have your quarterback and you're not worried about that. But at a certain point too, it's like let's go. Let's the difference between drafting fifth and 12th or whatever. Who
yeah.
cares? Like it's like I'd rather like you gotta start formulating some wins eventually.
Plus you botch the amount of bot. I mean, Evan Neal, like we had a high draft pick that year. Let's
Yeah,
how did that work? So, um, yeah,
yeah.
trust me, I'm going to be
Although,
talking
but
about
then
the
you get
draft
guys
probably
like
soon
Abdul
enough.
Carter.
That is true too. That is true. So
But
there's
you're right. But you're right. There are it's checks and balances with
checks and
drafting high.
balances. All right. Do you want to do a little preview of next week? We
Yeah,
got
sure.
yeah. I know we're getting a little farther into the time here. Let's see. The first game, though, I will say this. I know for a fact because we have two primetime games. Eagles are on a bye. The first game is the New York Football Giants. I believe. Let me double check this. I believe it is at home against. It is. It's at home against the 49ers
Yeah.
at 1 o'clock Eastern. And the 49ers were 5-3. Are well, while the Giants have struggled a lot with injuries. I mean, let's be real. The 49ers don't even look like the 49ers with the teams.
Every year it's the case with them, it feels like.
Yeah. Since that Super Bowl loss. Do you want to guess the spread on this one? This is something we typically do. So what
Is
do you
Purdy
think?
is Purdy healthy?
You know, I thought he was last week, and then he wasn't. I don't even
Right.
know if like Ricky Pearsall is either. To be honest, I feel like it's been like he remains a limited participant in practice, so
Purdy.
sensitive situation. Yeah, still limited. And honestly, if I'm Kyle Shanahan and you actually think you want Brock Purdy, and with how the Giants' defense, especially the secondary, has been playing, I feel like and with how aggressive our pass rush can be, I feel like they'd just rather roll out Mac Jones. Who I thought also got injured is Mac Jones.
Yeah, he's beat up a little bit.
Yeah,
I'd go
yeah, he's also day to day. So,
games in New
oh,
York.
the full practice. He did a full practice on Wednesday, so he should be.
Mac
Mac
Jones.
Jones should be ready to go. Yeah,
Uh,
in New York.
it feels like Vegas hates the Giants. I'll
Yeah.
go Niners minus 1.5. I don't love it though.
Yeah, actually, you're pretty close. My Niners minus 2.5.
Okay.
Which
See,
honestly,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I wanted to say that number because it makes more sense in NFL terms because then you get the 3 points with 2.5 and minus 1.5 is 2 points, not as common in the NFL. But with their quarterback situation, sheesh. Like I said to
yeah,
start off, though, it seems like Vegas hates the Giants, so I'm a little surprised it's at minus 2.5. But yeah, I guess I I don't know. Interesting. I would have thought
yeah,
it would be a little more in favor of the Giants.
yeah. I think that they just. I don't know. I'll tell you what though. Like I know I feel good about the Giants every week. Like I feel good about the Giants this week. Like we're back at home.
Hmm.
Um, and I like the Giants have fought in almost every single game, and I think that like I don't think the Niners are as good as their record shows. I think that like they're capable of winning every single week too. Like the Niners have with Kyle Shanahan have put together great performances despite all their injuries.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm going Giants in this one, and I hope Darius Slayton finally has the game that we've been waiting for. Like he should have had a much better game last week if that stupid call didn't get called back, no matter what Jeremy says. Um, but I'll go. I'll start this off, and I'm going to say Giants, and I think we're putting up points. I'm going to say Giants 28,
Mm,
Niners 24.
okay. I don't know.
Hey, it's okay. You
Uh,
can pick the Niners in this one, dude.
I
Be
don't know
real.
where to go.
Be true.
I honestly don't know where to go. If Purdy's playing, I like them a lot more, but
Mac hasn't been bad this year.
I
To be fair,
know
he
I don't.
has been bad, but he hasn't
I
been.
love and I love Mac Jones in every which
Yeah,
way. I don't think he's been amazing.
no.
Ay, ay, ay.
Mm-mm.
Um, 24-23 Giants.
Oh wow! Thank you, dude. You actually feel that, or do you just feel bad?
I think so. I don't feel I honestly wanted to say like 24-24 tie. I don't
I can see that
I
happening.
don't I don't like San Francisco enough to take yeah, with the injuries with everything going on in the defense, I don't like San Francisco on the road. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, the next one is another prime time. One of the two
Mm,
of three primetime games, and that's Sunday Night Football. The Seattle Seahawks go to Washington, not their home state of Washington, but Washington, D.C., to play the Washington Commanders. And Jaden Daniels, I believe it is said he is playing. So,
Okay.
barring any crazy setback, Terry McLaurin is not playing, and I think Deebo Samuel is playing. So, what do you think the spread is here?
Let's go Seattle minus. I don't want to go too high, but I think I'm safe saying Seattle minus 5.5.
Oh no, you went a little too high.
Yeah,
Minus three. I think it's the home
minus
thing
three.
with Washington.
What's
Uh,
that?
I think it's because Washington is at home. I think if
Maybe.
it was in Seattle, I think it might be closer to
Seattle
that.
has a good record. I think they're kind of frauds. Not in the way where I think they're a good team. I
Yeah,
think we have to see a lot more to be convinced on how good they are, but it is in Washington, so um minus three. Interesting.
yeah. I mean, I think the Seahawks are crazy that they're first in the NFC West too.
Yeah.
You know, with the Rams and the Niners, and then the Rams and Niners doing good, and the Cardinals not being as bad as I thought they would be. Um, I think Washington's offense has been like they're multiple. JSN is like the best receiver in the league right
Yeah, I
now.
know. What is he?
Uh,
What is he leading the league in receiving yards or something?
Receiving yards, yeah, I think he's actually on pace to like break the record too.
Crazy.
Yeah, break the receiving yard record. Yeah, he has 819 yards in 7 games this season because they just had a bye.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, crazy. And then Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, although I hate that they split carries,
Yeah.
are both efficient. I mean, Kenneth Walker is definitely the better back, but like having both those guys
Both
be
good
able to
players.
pound the
Yeah.
ball, awesome. Um, and then the surrounding cast like Cooper Cup is hasn't been great. Torrey Horton is a great wide receiver who I love.
Yeah.
Carter, fuck man, I wish the Giants got Torrey Horton, man. It doesn't matter. Elijah Arroyo really hasn't shown up. Defense is great. I mean, I know that Tariq Woolen has kind of been like iffy this year. I know that Seahawks fans have kind of given up on him. I still like him in Madden. He still has great.
It seems like a scheme thing with him in Seattle that isn't
Yeah,
working out.
yeah. What do you? I'll let you go first here. What do you think? What do you predict
I'll
this will
go
be?
Seattle. Daniels is playing. Okay. 27-21 Seattle Seahawks. They cover.
Yeah, I think. I don't know. I feel like depending on the health, I know since they already announced it pretty early in the week that Jaden Daniels is playing. I know they haven't had Terry, but they haven't had Terry all year. Oh man, I want to get this score correct, so I'm going to do this as well. I'm going to do Seattle, and dude, I think that they're going to score at least 3 touchdowns. At
I know.
least
I
3
want to. I
touchdowns.
want to go into the 30s. Honestly.
I think I'm going to. I like their offense. I think I'm going to go Seattle 32.
Mm.
Commanders, and I think that they're going to fight. They're going to keep this game. Maybe it'll get a little out of hand. I think I'm going to go Commanders 28.
Mm.
It's a weird, don't tell me how they get there, but that's what I'm going for.
Okay.
I think Jaden Daniels is in a battle. Like he's still a great quarterback. It sucks that he's been dealing with injuries. I know he hasn't looked as good at times this year. He's actually had some sloppy games early on against the Packers. So yeah, it's don't love it, but there it is. And then the last primetime game, Jeremy, the Dallas Cowboys are hosting the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
What do you got for the spread there?
Well, it seems
Kyler
as
Murray, I believe, is back
this game is in Dallas.
in Dallas.
Dallas.
Monday Night Football.
Again, I don't want to go too big, but Dallas. Dallas minus 6.5.
Dude, yeah, no, you're not there, man. Minus 2.5.
2.5.
Minus 2.5.
Holy
Dude,
smokes.
The Cardinals, like They're what? I think they might have the same record as the Commanders. I think they're 3-5.
I think the Cardinals are really bad, in my opinion, regardless of what the record has shown early on this season. Wow,
I would,
that's a little surprising. I think this is a game for Dallas where
yeah,
it's one of those games where they play a poor team and they take advantage of it, and then next week they play someone good and they lose by a lot. So, I think
yeah.
I think Dallas scores a lot. I think that they 35. Yeah, I think they don't play defense. So let me.
Wait, no, I'm
Uh,
wrong. Dude. I think the Cardinals are 2-6.
right. Oh, so the
Yeah.
line's wrong.
No. I mean, I think they're 2-5. Sorry,
Okay.
they had a bye. Yeah.
Um,
No, the line is still -2.5. Cowboys.
30. Ay, ay, ay.
You're on Cowboys here.
Yeah, Cowboys definitely 38-24.
Ooh. Hey, at least you're showing respect to the Cowboys offense.
Yeah, I think that listen, they've done a good job of scoring at a high rate against poor teams. Green Bay, they
Yeah.
did a higher team too. So I think they will score points. I think they will also give up points and give up points against a bad team too. But yeah, so we'll go with that.
Yeah, and I think Trey Benson is going to be back for this game. If not, it's going to be Bam
Okay.
Knight. They dropped Michael Carter, the other Michael Carter. Good news. All right. Yeah, it looks like he will be playing this game, Trey Benson, which, I mean, hasn't really shown anything in his short career either. But, oh, man. Yeah, I can't. I feel like I'd have to pick the Cowboys too, especially because Kyler, who I think is still like battling an injury. I hope
Yeah,
this is a good game too.
I think that when we saw Brissett, I think Brissett honestly gives them.
Dude, he looked better. Trey McBride was
Yeah,
scoring
I think
touchdowns
Brissett
finally.
gives them a better chance in some ways. So even with Kyler coming back, it's like, I don't know if that really helps. It might make it worse, but yeah. Well, what score do you have?
I have Cowboys. I'm gonna go Cowboys 35.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. I'm gonna Cardinals. Cardinals 27.
Okay,
So a touchdown.
that would
Yeah.
be a very interesting
Hopefully it's a
game.
good game.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's hope. I keep looking to see if any of our scores. We've had some get so close,
Really?
So close. Yeah. Because I always thought it was silly when like announcers would like guess the score of the game because it's such a tough thing. But
Yeah.
I think it's fun, and it kind of shows like where you see the games that go.
Totally.
Rather than just picking a team or
Based on what you've seen, based on the stats. So a lot of it's guessing. A lot of it, but a lot of it like you're using inference and facts and stats. So yeah.
and matchup. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jeremy, anything you want to say to the people before we wrap this up?
Well, it'll be a bye week for the Eagles, so it'll be nice to just watch football on a Sunday without having to stress too much. So good luck to all you fans who have teams playing this week. End.
Yeah. And happy Halloween. We don't need any Sunday scaries this week. We need the Giants to really pull some tricks, give us some treats, and maybe the Cowboys and Commanders to lose because that's always a good feeling. Also, the Giants would move up in the NFC East rankings, which even in a season where we don't make the playoffs, it'd still make me feel good. So yeah, if you've watched it this far, then like and subscribe, leave a comment. Hey, tell us what we did good, tell us what we did bad. I mean, I can take it. Be nice to Jeremy. He's a really good guy. He cannot take it. Okay, no, he can take it. He's tough as nails. But yeah, let us know, and we will see you next week. Happy Halloween. Check your kids' candies for razor blades because I think they're still doing that. It's messed up. And Yeah, brush your teeth after eating the candy because I didn't last night, and I woke up to a disgusting mouth. Just disgusting.
What was the
Anyways,
candy? What was the candy?
it was a lot of them. I got the candy for the kids already, and I had a pumpkin shaped Reese's, and a normal
Oh,
shaped Reese's. I had an almond joy. I had a
ooh,
Hershey's bar.
ooh.
I think that was every one in the variety pack aside from the milk duds, which I learned my lesson 2 days ago. The milk duds still suck. So
Yeah.
yeah, avoid those. I think I'd rather eat razor blades than milk duds, honestly. Hot
Stop.
take. All right. Well, that's an episode. We are the Beasts of the NFC East. Peace.